There's a 3-year-old startup that just offered $34.5 billion to buy one of Google's most important products, Chrome, the browser sitting on more than 3 billion devices. Google said no. But the fact that the offer happened at all tells you how seriously one company is trying to kill Google search. That company is Perplexity. And this is the story of how a research chatbot turned into Google's most aggressive challenger in 25 years. Perplexity was founded in August 2022 by 4 people who all had reasons to be frustrated with search. Aravind Srinivas, the CEO, had done AI research at OpenAI, Google, and DeepMind. He holds a PhD from Berkeley. Dennis Yaratz came from Meta's AI research lab. Johnny Ho had built search and ranking systems at Quora, and Andy Konwinski had already co-founded one company you've definitely heard of, Databricks. Srinivas's core complaint was simple. Google gives you 10 blue links and makes you do the work. He wanted something that just answered the question, with sources you could actually check. That's the entire pitch. Not a chatbot that makes things up, but one that cites where every claim came from. The idea worked faster than almost anyone expected. In April 2023, Perplexity was valued at $121 million, a normal, unremarkable seed stage number. By January 2026, that number was $23 billion. That's roughly a 175 times increase in under 3 years. The investor list reads like a who's who of people betting on the AI era. NVIDIA, Jeff Bezos personally, SoftBank's Vision Fund, and, this is real, soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo, who put money in during a December 2025 round. In total, Perplexity has raised around $1.7 billion. The usage numbers back up the excitement. Perplexity was processing around 230 million queries a month in August 2024. By May 2025, that had more than tripled to 780 million. The company has said its goal is 1 billion queries a week. So how does an answer engine actually make money? 3 ways. Perplexity Pro, at $20 a month, is the core subscription. Perplexity Max, launched in July 2025, is a $200 a month tier aimed at power users and professionals. And there's a growing enterprise business selling API access and search tools directly to companies. There's also a messier chapter here worth including. In 2024, Perplexity experimented with advertising, sponsored answers appearing alongside search results, then killed the program entirely after backlash. Since then, the company has quietly been rebuilding an advertising platform anyway, this time positioned around publisher revenue sharing rather than sponsored answers. And in mid-2025, Perplexity launched Comet, its own AI-powered web browser. That single decision is what turned this from an interesting startup into something Google had to take seriously. Here's where the story gets genuinely dramatic. In August 2025, Google was staring down a U.S. antitrust ruling. A federal judge had already found that Google illegally maintained a monopoly in search. The Department of Justice was pushing for the harshest possible remedy, force Google to sell Chrome entirely. Days before the judge's decision, Perplexity, a company valued at roughly $18 billion at the time, made an unsolicited $34.5 billion bid to buy Chrome outright, backed by investors willing to fund it, almost double its own valuation. Perplexity even promised to invest $3 billion over 2 years improving it. It didn't work, at least not directly. On September 2, 2025, Judge Amit Mehta ruled that Google would not have to divest Chrome. Google's stock jumped 8% within hours, but the ruling wasn't a clean win either. Google was barred from exclusive search distribution deals and ordered to share portions of its search index and data with qualified competitors, which directly benefits companies like Perplexity trying to compete. Meanwhile, Google's product response had already been underway for 2 years. AI overviews, now appearing in roughly 48% of Google searches, and AI mode, a full conversational search experience built on Gemini. Google has also been inserting ads into those AI answers aggressively. Ad presence in AI overviews jumped from about 5% in early 2025 to over 25% by 2026. Google isn't standing still. It's just fighting on its own terms, using its scale instead of chasing Perplexity's model directly. Before this turns into an underdog fairy tale, some real numbers to sit against the hype. Perplexity's annual recurring revenue crossed $450 million in early 2026. At a $23 billion valuation, that's trading at roughly 50 times revenue, a multiple that only makes sense if Perplexity keeps growing at its current pace indefinitely. The company isn't profitable, and it's already committed to spending $750 million on Microsoft Azure Compute alone. And Google, even after losing in court, still handles something like 80% of all search traffic. Perplexity has carved out a real, fast-growing niche, but killing Google and meaningfully denting Google are still two very different headlines. Whether Perplexity becomes the company that actually breaks Google's grip on search, or just the company that forced Google to change how it plays the game, either version of this story is worth watching closely. If you want more of the companies quietly picking fights with the biggest names in tech, subscribe. That's exactly what this channel does.